Greetings, Harbingers. Welcome to Yliaster, PewDiePie's favorite channel. Your realm of personal development, stoicism, and cyber alchemy. Well, I invite you to join me in my morning walk while we have a chat. Please give the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, help a brother out, shake my hand by clicking in the thumbs up so we can start our conversation. Imagine like we are in a bar having a beer and having some chit chat, right? Let's go to the video. 1 year in Spain. The good, the bad, and the truth. So, that's right, it's been a year since I moved to Spain. I left my country and I'm starting over here in Spain. It's been a year now. So, I'm going to talk about my experience, of course. I'd like to share this with you, as well as my 34th birthday that's happening around the same time. So I hope you enjoy. I want to share some of the things I love about here, some of the things that I don't like, and my overall impressions about this country. Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to travel throughout Spain, and it's definitely on my plans. Get to know at least, like as much as I can actually of this country. What do I love about Spain? Well, first and foremost, the Spaniards, the people here are just amazing. They are extremely educated. They treated me very well, like absolutely nothing to complain. They are generous, maybe too generous with foreigners, and that's amazing. People should value that. And again, if you come to a new country, make sure to adapt to the culture and to help contribute with society. The next thing that I love about living here is, of course, the food. People talk a lot about France and Italy, but I think Spain's cuisine is underrated, I mean, what's not to love? For me, of course, I expected the wine to be great and cheap, and there's not only that, there is also cava, which is the Spaniard version of the French champagne from the northern region of Catalonia, and oh my god, it's delicious. It's so expensive in my country. Of course, I don't drink like every day, just, I consume alcohol with moderation, only on weekends. Of course, to track my calories and all, otherwise all of my workout in the gym and everything would be wasted. But you can have balance and know how to appreciate these things in life, I love tortilla and jamon, which is one of the symbols of Spain, it's one of their main commodities, and it's a very special thing, the way they cure that pork meat, the cerdo, and it's delicious. It's like bacon with low calories, and it's delicious. It combines with everything. I love, for example, like Friday nights, eat an entire tortilla with jamon, olives, and some wine. It's a great treat for me, When you talk about the Spaniard cuisine, the first thing that they came to mind it's paella, which is outside of Spain. It's considered their national dish, but it actually isn't. Paella is a dish mostly common. Let me rephrase that. Paella is a dish originated in the Valencian community, from the Comunidad Valenciana of Spain, and there's lots of variations, but it's most consumed here, and it turned out to be the most famous dish outside Spain. When I tell people I live in Spain, they always ask me, like foreigners, like, so you eat paella, do you like it and all? And yeah, it's awesome. Let's talk about the weather. The weather here, for me, it's like a love and hatred thing, When I came to Europe, I expected to be way cooler because I come from a very cold place in the south of Brazil, and I was like, okay, Europe, it's cold, so I'm cool. I never enjoyed summer. I don't like it at all. I don't like heat. Today, like, the sun is quite bearable. Otherwise, I would be all covered, Of course, I have my sunscreen on and all. But last year was my first summer experience here. And I gotta say, I hated every second of it. I must have like a plan B to go through July and August because it's horrible. It's extremely heat, it's unbearable, and there ain't much you can do. My house, where I live, we have like solar panels and we don't have enough power to have like AC and all, and it's expensive to invest in like batteries and more solar panels and everything. I must have a plan B, and in the future when I'm more comfortable, I might flee to somewhere else during the European summer because it's just horrible. To be completely honest, it's the only thing I don't like about here, the summer. One other thing that I enjoy a lot here is the laid backness of the country. People are very laid back here. That means that they really know how to enjoy life. There is this thing called siesta, in which people usually take a nap after lunch. When you start doing it, you kind of get used to it so quickly, and it's enjoyable, you know. So I gotta say, almost every day I now take a nap after lunch, and it's just so comforting, right? The main reason people do that is exactly because of the summer. Like, the sun is literally trying to kill you, so it's hard to be on your best because of the unbearable heat. So after lunch, people like take a nap in the hottest part of the day, and they go out at night when it's a little bit better, which makes nightlife here in Spain very late, which is something I'm not used to. I like to be in bed by midnight. So, and in summer people tend to go out like way later than that, and I get sleepy like by midnight. So it's something I'm trying to get used to. But even at night, I get sweaty all day long in the summer. It's really not for me. Well, I hope the traffic noise doesn't screw the audio here. I've bought a microphone these days, but it wasn't good. I felt like I was fooled. Anyway, the other thing that's awesome about here is exactly this, you know. We call like senderismo, which is hiking. There's plenty of places here, literally mountains, like trails that you can walk through, hiking, cycling, and like the mountains, the places are astonishing. I'm in a region that you can easily have access to places that you feel like you are in a Lord of the Rings set. That's, for me, one of the best things about Spain. In my country, like, we kind of don't have that. It's too much green. There are other things, but to be able to do like this kind of hiking, at least where I used to live, I don't recall any places that you can do that. And of course with safety, you know, not worried that you're gonna get mugged or something. Let's talk about something that I normally call the king is naked. Let's talk about immigration. We all know that Europe is having a massive amount of immigration. I'm an immigrant, so I'm in the basket of statistics as well. The thing is that there are immigrants and immigrants. There are immigrants that leave their countries to move to another country, and they come here to adapt, to work, to contribute to the economy, to contribute to the society. You gotta adapt to the culture, not impose your own. You gotta respect the laws, you gotta respect the locals, you gotta be the best citizen you can ever be. The thing is, what I see, even though Spain is in need of people to do like physical work, like in agriculture, for example, and they are bringing people to do that kind of work, which is needed, like waiter, tourism here. Tourism here is like booming all the time, you know. And that's good that they bring like immigrants that are willing to adapt to the culture, to learn the language if they don't speak it already, and, you know, contribute to society. I'm okay with that. The thing is, there is a whole other side to this immigration situation that I perceive not only Spain but Europe in general, the biggest economies in Europe, are making a tremendous effort to bring what I call bad immigration, which is people that usually men in military age. You don't see women, you don't see children that don't speak the language, don't share the same culture, don't share the same values, and they basically come here to be taken care of by the state with the locals' tax money, they just don't contribute. And even worse, some here come to commit crime and, to do harmful things to women. They want to impose their culture, their creed. They don't have a slightly willingness to adapt to the culture, And I see like the governments and those schmucks from Brussels making a tremendous effort to bring in this kind of people, And I'm not okay with that, and neither you should be. If you look at the news, we always see like some terrorist attack, like in Germany, in the UK, in Sweden, and I'm under the impression that, and I'm gonna say this again, governments are making a huge effort to bring these people here, and if you say something about it, you will be called like a fascist or even worse. Having common sense these days makes you a fascist. That's insane, that's crazy, that's nonsense, that's bullshit, and we are not buying this. To give an example that happened to me here, not long ago I went to a barber shop and I didn't know at first it wasn't a traditional Spaniard barber shop. I had like the bigger beard, and I took it off because it's just too much work to take care of it. Dude was like cutting my beard and all, and out of nowhere he started like saying that jamon is like impure because it's pork, It's impure, it's crap. His religion was like the perfect religion and he was walking the perfect path and everything. He started talking about the war in Middle East and everything. And I was like, dude, I just came here for you to cut my beard. And I don't want to hear a bullshit. The fact that he has this kind of freedom to speak his mind and talk trash of like what he did to Ramon. I'm not even a Spaniard, but I felt offended because, like I said, Jamon, it's an amazing. When I say jamon, it's Iberical ham, right? I forgot to translate all the time. Iberical ham. It's like one of the biggest symbols of Spain's economy. It's an extremely exquisite commodity here, and people come here to talk trash about it. Fuck off. Go back to your country, moron. Why do you come here if you're not going to adapt and you're trying to impose your culture and your creed? Just go back to your country. If they don't adapt to our culture and all, back to their country by force if needed. And again, I see like governments and legacy media making a tremendous effort to normalize this preposterousness. That's absurd. Well, I said the only thing I didn't like here was summer, but yeah, it's summer and this freaking hypocrisy of legacy medias, of governments, and this progressist agenda being shoveling down upon Europe, and the censorship towards common sense. Anyway, my intention wasn't to make this a political video, but the king is naked. Anyway, despite all that, Spain's precious, dude. This country is precious. Amazing food, amazing people, amazing weather almost all the time, at least 10 months a year, right? Quality of life here is exceptional. Cost of living is cheap here compared to my own country, for example. Even though my country's currency is extremely weak, inflation gets everything way expensive, even for European standards, currency-wise. Living in Spain has given me peace, tranquility, and focus. This channel was born here in Spain, this whole idea of this Yliaster journey and everything. When there's too much noise, you can't focus because you are distracted by the mediocre surroundings, So if you want to level up, you gotta despise the noise and the mediocre, and if needed, go somewhere else. It's normally the best and quickest solution. You won't change the environment around you. You can go to an environment that's more, that aligns better with your values, I want to hear from you now. What do you think as an immigrant living here? What do you think? Do you share my opinions? Do you agree or disagree with something? Leave it in the comments. I'd love to read them. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having accepted me in your country, having, embraced me. I'm so privileged to live here. And I'll keep doing my best to contribute to this society and keeping this country great. See you in the next video. El Psy Conguru.